When everything falls apart, it's not the end. It's initiation. There comes a time on every spiritual path where the light seems to disappear. You feel lost, disconnected, and nothing makes sense anymore. But what if this collapse isn't punishment, but transformation? Today we're diving deep into the dark night of the soul, what it really is, why it happens, and how to find your way through it. When you enter the dark night of the soul, it often begins with loss of meaning, of direction, sometimes of relationships, identity, or even faith. Things that once brought you joy now feel empty. The practices that used to connect you to spirit meditation, prayer, journaling, suddenly feel lifeless. You might ask, what's wrong with me? But this is the paradox. Nothing is wrong. The old you is dissolving. The dark night isn't just depression, though it can feel like it. It's the death of the false self, the layers of identity built from conditioning, survival, and illusion. It's when the ego begins to realize it's not in control. In mystical terms, this stage has been written about by St. John of the Cross, by mystics across traditions, Buddhist, Sufi, indigenous, all describing this sacred unraveling. It's when the soul says, I want truth, not comfort, and truth demands surrender. This phase can feel like spiritual exile. You question your purpose, your intuition goes quiet. Life seems to strip away everything that isn't real. But beneath that silence, something deeper is happening. The universe is not abandoning you, it's recalibrating you. Think of it like this. When a caterpillar dissolves inside the chrysalis, it literally becomes liquid. It has no form, no control. But within that formlessness, the blueprint for the butterfly is already encoded. That's the dark night. You are in the chrysalis. The dissolution is sacred. The mistake many people make is resisting it, trying to fix or bypass the pain. But this stage can't be skipped. The only way out is through. There comes a moment, sometimes after weeks, months, or even years, when a subtle shift happens. A flicker of peace in the middle of the storm. You begin to sense that maybe this collapse has purpose. Maybe you were never falling apart, you were falling open. This is the beginning of awakening, when you stop identifying with the story of your suffering, start witnessing it with compassion. When you realize that the part of you watching the pain is untouched by it. From this awareness, light begins to return, not the bright surface light of optimism, but the deep, quiet radiance of truth. You start to rebuild your relationship with the divine, not from fear or seeking, but from intimacy. You trust again, not because everything is fixed, but because you finally see that you were never separate to begin with. As you move through and out of the dark night, you don't become your old self again. That version of you no longer exists. You emerge softer, simpler, more real. You may find you can no longer tolerate what's false relationships, jobs, habits, or ways of living that once felt fine, now feel heavy. You're more attuned to authenticity, purpose, and presence. The dark night purifies your perception. It burns away the illusion of control so you can live from surrender. It dismantles the idea that you must do spirituality to reach God and helps you remember that you already are that. And when you integrate this, life starts to flow again. But now, it's not about chasing light. It's about being the vessel through which light moves. Every initiation leads to rebirth. You might not notice it right away. It's quiet, gentle, grounded. You laugh again, not because everything is perfect, but because you've made peace with imperfection. You no longer chase enlightenment, you embody it in ordinary moments. You've met your shadow, and now you walk as your whole self. That's the gift of the dark night of the soul. It strips you bare and reveals what's eternal. If you're walking through your own dark night right now, remember, this isn't the end. It's the doorway. If this message spoke to you, give it a like so it can reach someone else who might need to hear it tonight. And if you're ready to go deeper into healing, shadow work, and spiritual transformation, subscribe to the Phoenix Path. Because this journey isn't about escaping the darkness. It's about learning to see the light within it.